This is Full Count, the show for baseball fans by baseball fans that takes the extra base and delivers a save each and every week. Presented by Dinger Bats and DingerBats.com. Now here are your hosts, the round mound of sound, Keith Gibson, and owner of Dinger Bats, Kyle Drone.
Play ball!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Full Count, the show for baseball fans by baseball fans. I'm your host, Keith Gibson. Alongside me, the owner of Dinger Bats and my co-host, Kyle Drone. Kyle, how are you my friend?
I'm great, Keith. How you doing today?
Man, it is April the 3rd. Baseball season has started. I can smell the hot dogs. I can taste the nachos, and you can hear the beer vendors hollering down the stands right now. I don't know about you, but it just makes me happy.
Oh, absolutely, man. Very exciting time.
We've got a great show lined up for you. We thank you for joining us on our premiere edition of Full Count. We're going to have our Around the Horn segment coming up in just a couple minutes. Well, we'll talk some of the hottest topics. We'll go over the offseason, talk about some rule changes that are being experimented in minor league baseball. Then we'll welcome in our good guest and one of your good friends, Kyle, Pittsburgh Pirates manager Derek Shelton. We'll talk about his offseason and what he expects out of the Buccos this season. And I'm excited to talk to him too, Kyle.
Yeah, me too. Great friend of mine, and excited for his opportunity to get a full season under his belt and see what he has to say about it.
Later on the show, we'll come back and we'll give you a little bit of trivia. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And we're going to give you our MVP, our Cy Young, our Manager of the Year, and our World Series winner as we start the 2021 MLB season. We start Full Count right here on April 3rd. And then we'll close the show with our favorite ballpark food and our final thoughts. So stick around with us. We've got a great show, but we're going to get this one started with a little bit of news that we like to go around the horn. And Kyle Drone, it was an off season like no other. Coming off of COVID, a shortened season. There were some big moves made in the off season, though, and one I'm sure you're very, very happy about.
Yes,
The biggest trade in the offseason was the Colorado Rockies shipping all-star, world great third baseman Nolan Arenado to your St. Louis Cardinals for a bag of peanuts and some Cracker Jacks.
Yeah, it was a great trade, obviously, and Cardinal Nation is super excited about it and ready to watch him suit up with the birds on the bat.
You know, I think he's going to have a tremendous year. They were quiet other than that in the offseason. They brought back Waino and Molina, but other than that, pretty quiet, let Wong go. But the big news, Arenado coming. Now you've got, boy, I tell you what, the Cardinals at the corners, Goldschmidt and Arenado. That's a big middle of the lineup.
Yeah, you got a lot of pop there. Now Goldie's going to get some protection or vice versa, depending on how they stack the lineup. So, offensively, they're going to be a lot better, obviously.
And if he's like any other player that's came over in a trade, in a big trade to the St. Louis Cardinals, he's going to put up big numbers. So, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. Let's talk about other big news in the offseason. Trevor Bauer, last year's National League Cy Young Award winner, signs with the Dodgers. 3-year deal, though. Kyle Drone, short deal. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think that's the way you go. I mean, they got a short window to win another one and maybe contend for, a couple. So I think it's the right play because, after a couple, 3 years, they're going to be paying a lot of players.
We've talked trade. We've talked big free agent signings. Let's talk extensions, and probably one of the biggest extensions ever in Major League Baseball. The San Diego Padres give Fernando Tatis Jr., 20 years of age, their star shortstop, a 14-year deal. Kyle, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm okay with this deal because I love seeing a guy stay in one place, just like, I may be a big Cub fan, but you got to respect Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright for staying with the Cardinals for so long and for their entire careers, since Wainwright, of course, came from Atlanta. But are you okay with the number of years, and will this contract pan out?
Obviously, I don't know if it'll pan out, but yeah, I think it's a great signing and the way the game is now. You can now settle in and build the team around him and, hopefully they make the right moves and they can contend in the near future. But he's got to stay healthy and keep putting up the numbers, and he definitely got the ability to do it. Will it happen? We'll see.
Well, the Padres were definitely one team in the offseason that made some big moves. They brought in Blake Snell from Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
They took Yu Darvish from the Cubs. So they got some pitching depth. You still got Machado. You still got Hosmer. You've got some bats in that lineup. The Padres, I think, can contend in the West, but I don't know if they can beat the Dodgers still.
Anything can happen in this series. If they can just get there and get a chance to play, who knows? But, matching them team for team, obviously the Dodgers are the better team, in my opinion. But, they've got a good club. And, if they click at the right time, who knows?
Were you surprised of any other free agent signings in the offseason? You had George Springer go to Toronto. Jackie Bradley Jr. ends up in Milwaukee. Not a whole lot of pitching out there were signed free agent wise. Was the offseason kind of odd for you?
Look, yeah, it was a little blah, so to speak. But, I think the Springer deal was a good deal. Goes to a team. He's a veteran, got a World Series ring, knows how to win. Got a lot of youth over there that he can help, in the clubhouse with. And, Jackie Bradley, I'm a big fan of his. It was surprising it took as long for him to find a place, but I think it's a good fit where he's at.
So that's your offseason review. Let's talk about this season, 2021. And the Texas Rangers are leading the movement, Kyle, with letting fans in the stands going full capacity. Let's see how this turns out. They're the only team so far in Major League Baseball to be doing this. Other teams letting, 25, some 40%, some 50% in the stands. I don't know about you, but I'll take the 25, 50, but full capacity is what I think we all want. Are you worried any at all that we could see a backlash from a breakout or anything from COVID when this happens?
Yeah, I don't think I'd be attending, a full capacity game right off the get-go, but I'm interested to see, and they're going to try it, and they're supporting it. So hopefully it goes well and opens the gates, so to speak, for all the other clubs.
I'm just glad the gates are open and fans are back in the stands. It's we're both big baseball fans. We wouldn't be doing this show if we wouldn't. It was hard to watch baseball last year. It really was, with nobody in the stands and no pops of the crowd. For me, it was hard. What about you?
Oh, for sure. It was totally different. Obviously, not that the games weren't great, but it was a different experience, so to speak. And it really got exciting though during playoffs, and I think that carried the momentum. And I'm hoping that the gates opening and the fans, and the COVID stays down enough to where they keep increasing capacity and things get back to normal, because I miss watching a game with full stands.
Me too. I couldn't agree more. Let's talk about experimental rule changes that are being put in place this offseason in the minor league level, which, of course, minor leagues are going to start 1st of May. They're pushed back 30 days. So I'm okay with that, too, but I'm hoping that they aren't pushed back anymore, because, they didn't have minor league baseball last year at all. And some of these guys aren't going to develop, so they need this badly.
Absolutely. Yes.
But let's talk about some rule changes that are going to take place. The first is a shift restrictions test at the AA level. So, Kyle Drone, you now have to keep 2 feet on the dirt in the shift, and I am a big fan of this.
I agree. It's going to boost offense. It's going to, keep the players on the field that we want to see, and quit stealing the base hit from the line drive in short right field. So, yeah, I'm all for it. Looking for them to have success with it and implement it in the big leagues soon.
My biggest disappointment of the shift, and you and I have talked for a couple of years here, and when golf carts when we played together and just on the phone and texting back and forth, is the fact that left-handed hitters can't go oppo when the shift's on. But as you always say, hey, it's a different type of game. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it's changed, and those guys are there for a reason. They're there to hit home runs and pull the ball hard, and I get it from a strategic standpoint of, managers trying to shift, but, it just takes away from the game, the traditional side of the game that we've always known. And I don't mind a little bit of shift, playing up the middle, things like that, shading the hole a little bit, but, taking away, a guy's entire repertoire is a little too much.
Right. Agreed. Speaking of, shading the hole and moving around a little bit, players could be on the move a little bit more because now we're going to get bigger bases, which will also be tested at the AA level, going from 15 inches square to 18 inches square. They said it's to reduce collisions at the bags. So, Kyle, we already have a rule at second. At the keystone, we have a rule at the plate, so you can't run over the catcher. So where exactly do collisions take place besides maybe first base?
Yeah, I don't know. I think first base is your main objective there for the collisions, but I'm wondering if there's an underlying thought of maybe this boosts or entices players to steal more. You got more of a bag to get to at second base, and with some creative slides that we've seen, no one does it better than Baez. So, I'm kind of excited to see if that boosts the attempted steal numbers, and whether or not they're the steal rate goes up will be something that I'd be interested in.
Me too. Maybe we'll see Whitey Ball come back.
That would be cool.
That would be great. Even as a Cub fan, as which all our listeners will learn that Kyle is a diehard Cardinal fan. I'm a diehard Cub fan. That's how it's going to be. But I enjoyed the hit and run. I enjoy the aspects of, the squeeze. I enjoy, butting a guy over and hitting the ball the other way to score a run.
Manufacturing run.
Right, yeah. I love
about.
that. Right. And I think that's one part of the game that I miss the most right now. But let's moving on. Now your southpaws, your lefties, will no longer be able just to throw over to first. They now will have to step off and throw over, and this will be tested and implemented at the high A level in minor league baseball this season. And Kyle, I'm more than happy with this experiment here and this test because I think now it evens the playing field for both right-handed pitchers and left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of a little cheap move, the up and down and breaking the plane, and it's so hard to, get that jump off that lefty that can hold that pose a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. And once again, it goes back to maybe it brings up the attempted steal numbers and things like that, which makes the game more exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if a southpaw has to step off now, your guys are going to get a better read off of him without a doubt, because as soon as he makes that move, they're going to be able to take off instead of having to kind of pause a little bit before they take off and try to attempt to steal a base.
Exactly.
One of the last things they're going to test is at the low A level, and that's robo umpires. And yeah, me too. This is what are we doing? You can't take the human element out of the game. It's the national pastime. I am completely against this. I don't know how you can figure that. What are they going to do? Have an ump back there that gets something in his ear that tells him ball strike? What's the point of him being back there? Just put it up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You can't tell I'm a little angry about this one.
Yeah. I understand. I'm right there with you. Or is it going to be the umpire umpires the game, and the coaches are going to have, or managers are going to have a chance to replay a strike, balls and strike. I mean, you always grow up here and you don't argue balls and strikes. So now you can. I don't know.
Well, you can tell my dad that because he always did every single pitch and still does to this day. I'm not a big fan of it. We both aren't, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it just dies out and we never have to worry about it again.
Let's hope.
That's your Around the Horn, a catch-up of all the news and off-season chat. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to sit down with Pirates manager and Southern Illinois University alum Derek Shelton to talk about his offseason with the Buccos, who made a lot of moves, and what he expects out of them in 2021. You're listening to Full Count right here at DingerBats.com and on 103.5 ESPN.
Today's episode of Full Count is brought to you by Bees Trees.
Bees Trees, your local ISA certified arborist with over 10 years experience, specializing in tree removal, tree trimming, and with free estimates. Call Greg Miller of Bees Trees today at 260-4551. Welcome back to Full Count, ladies and gentlemen. This is our clubhouse chat. Keith Gibson, Kyle Drone sitting down with Major League Baseball players and managers to get their take on what's going on in the baseball world. This week, we are privileged to welcome in Pittsburgh Pirates manager and SIU alum, Derek Shelton. Derek, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Good to talk to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Shelty. Great to have you on this morning. We've been friends for a long time now. And one of the things I've always admired, or two of the things actually, are, your positive attitude and your winning mentality. Can you tell us a little bit about the influences over the years that have helped you kind of shape that in your managerial career?
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost, the biggest influence has been my father. He was a high school baseball coach in Illinois, in Northern Illinois, for 30 plus years. I mean, I know you guys are in Southern Illinois. He's a Johnson City person and went to Carbondale also. But he's probably the biggest influence just because I grew up going to the ballpark with him every day, or, he was a teacher and a coach. We were in the gym or at the field. And then as I move forward, the couple other people, and actually that they have Southern Illinois roots, Itchy Jones was a big one for me, just in his attention to detail and how he did things and how he ran practices and his thirst for knowledge. I mean, this is a guy that's 80 plus years old and still learning. And then Mark Newman, who gave me my first job with the Yankees. He's also a Saluki. He just passed recently. Besides my dad, he was probably the closest, mentor towards me and challenged me in terms of how I was going to get better every day. So really big three influences there.
Skip, you've had a great career so far. Now you're with the Bucks, leading them, but you had a big turnover in your roster, losing guys like Joe Musgrove, Jamison Taillon, Josh Bell. How do you replace that production both on the mound and in the field? And are you and Ben Sherrington working towards getting younger where maybe you don't compete exactly this year, but maybe 2-3 years from now you're a playoff contender?
Yeah, I think, when we came in, we identified that we need to get as many good players as possible. And when you have, good players to trade, which we traded, the three guys you mentioned are good players, good major league players, and were a big part of our clubhouse and a big part of what we were doing. But we realized we needed to supplement it with more talent. And we were very fortunate in the trades we made to be able to acquire a bunch of young talent back. Some of them we've seen in spring training, and have done a really nice job. But, a goal of any organization, especially an organization like the Pirates that has to develop, is we have to have young players that continue to flow into the big leagues. And that's what we did in these trades.
So, Shelty, you just broke spring training, which this kind of overlaps a little bit, which, you have a lot of new faces, young talent. Was the main focus more of, as a staff, player development, or were you more focused on winning, or you try to combine the two?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. In spring training, sometimes you win games at the back half of games or lose games at the back half of games with players that aren't going to be on your opening day roster. And those are good things. We won a game earlier in the spring with Nick Gonzalez, who was our first round pick last year, who's never played in a professional game, helped us win a game in spring training, which is really cool. Right. I mean, we haven't seen this guy play yet at any level, and he's helping us win spring training games. But development is extremely important also because of the fact we're at 75. We have a lot of young kids in camp and our major league players. We have to continue to develop at the major league level. So we have been working on things, and spring training went really well in that regard in terms of getting better and doing things. So it's a combination of both. It's nice to win games, but sometimes, games can be won or lost at the end because of other factors.
Skip, adding a guy like Trevor Cahill to your ball club, a guy who's got major league experience, both starting and coming out of the bullpen, what's it mean to you as a manager, as a guy you can count on, and it can also lead a young rotation and kind of mentor them throughout the season?
Yeah, I think you bring up a really good point there. This guy's pitched in dual roles. He has started and he's pitched out of the bullpen, and I think that's really important for a young club. I mean, we are prepared him to be a starter this year. Just for the number of innings, but really fortunate anytime we can bring guys in that have extensive major league experience to a young club because they provide stability. And we were happy that we were able to add Trevor into our group.
Shelty, it's Kyle again. Finally, your previous interviews and this one right here, man, I can really I can feel the excitement about what you're doing, and I'm just really curious on what are the things you most look forward to kicking off the season.
I look forward to starting.
Right.
I mean, it's been a long road, to get here. So I think that's the thing that's first and foremost is being in Chicago, the season starting, a new group playing 162 games. I mean, obviously we're still under fairly strict protocols, which causes some challenges, not only at the field, but off the field, but just really looking forward to a full season of baseball. And then the second thing is I'm looking forward to fans in PNC. When I got the job, a year and a half ago, that was something that really stood out to me. And the fact that we're in the National League Central. I mean, I grew up in the Chicagoland area. I went to school in Carbondale. I have a bunch of family that used to be Cardinal fans that, now support the black and gold that transitioned over. But I think that's, something that stands out to me. I mean, to be able to be in ballparks that I was in growing up, now with fans in them, I think is going to be really cool.
Skip, you've got a right fielder in Gregory Polanco who struggled a little bit in 2020. But is it important for you and for the ball club for him to kind of have a bounce back year and be able to help guys like Moran and Frazier? Now, I know he's a new dad as well, so that's always exciting. But have you kind of seen a little more pep in his step this spring and as he gets prepared for 2021?
Yeah, well, I think like you pointed out, he's got dad strength now. Anytime you have your first child, you get dad strength.
Oh, yeah.
But Greg's in a good spot. He came in last year to spring training and was in a really good spot. Unfortunately, as we went into spring training 2.0, he contracted the virus and had COVID, and it pushed him back a little bit. I think the one thing that stood out to Greg's year last year is when he hit the ball hard. And the one thing we have encouraged is just more contact. So far this spring, he's doing a much better job of that. He's moving around. He's moving around fine. He's healthy, and looking forward to big things out of him this year.
And finally, Shelton, you've got a third baseman in Key Brian Hayes, a perennial all-star and cornerstone of the Pirates franchise. What kind of things are you expecting out of him? Because I'm sure you're expecting big things out of the young third baseman.
Yeah, he's a talented kid. He came to the big leagues last year and played 24 games and was really good. I think this thing that stands out is this kid's got a really slow heartbeat. I mean, obviously grew up in a baseball family. His dad caught the last out of the 96 World Series, which is, really cool. But the fact that he never gets too high, never gets too low, does the same thing. And, I know there's a lot of expectations on Key. All we're looking for out of him is to go out and catch the ball every day, have consistent at-bats. We realize there's going to be ups and downs, but I think people are going to be excited to watch this kid play because he does some really special things on the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Pittsburgh Pirates manager Derek Shelton in our clubhouse chat right here on Full Count. Thank you, Skip, for joining us here on our show. We wish you nothing but the best in 2021, you and the Pirates, and I hope everybody stays healthy as you start the season this weekend in Windy City, the big city of Chicago, against the Cubs. We'll take a quick break and come right back here with our On This Date in Baseball History and our Triple Play Trivia. You're listening to Full Count.
Today's episode of Full Count is brought to you by Ford of Tuscola.
Check out the all-new Ford of Tuscola. It's a small-town feel with great big deals. Pre-owned vehicles starting at $24.95. Online at FordofTuscola.com or call 217-253-3353.
Back here on Full Count, Keith Gibson, Kyle Jerome, bringing it to you this week on our debut episode. We want to thank our special guest, Pittsburgh Pirates manager and SIU alum Derek Shelton, for joining us. And Kyle, what a guy. He knows he's got a lot in front of him, but excited to get the season started.
Yeah, man, great interview. Appreciate him coming on. Looking forward to what he can do with this young team. He's not going to, come out guns a-blazing, but I think they're going to be competitive.
I do too. He's got a lot of young talent, and they keep building talent. As he said, he wants to build at the major league level. And keep your eye on Nick Gonzalez. As he mentioned in the interview, the youngster first-round pick from a year ago could do some big things in the next 2 to 3 years. But at this time, we're going to have a segment called Take Your Pick, since it is the first weekend of Major League Baseball season here in 2021. We're going to pick our MVPs, our Cy Youngs, our Manager of the Year, and our World Series winner. And Kyle Drone, we'll start with the American League Most Valuable Player, because I think you and I are going to agree on this, and I think everyone should agree on this, because if someone thinks someone else is going to win this besides this guy, you may be nuts or taking a long shot. But who do you have for our American League most valuable
I'll take
player?
that bet. Yeah, man, for sure. To me, hands down, Mike Trout. He's got 3 MVPs already. Won the last one without even playing the last month of the season. So he's obviously the 5-tool player. Excited to see him this year coming off the shortened season. They got a decent team. I think if they come out hot and he does what he does, then he's my hands down favorite.
I will agree fully on that one, and you should too, ladies and gentlemen. He said he fixed his swing. Kyle Drone, I didn't know anything was wrong with his swing, first off. But he said he fixed his swing, said he had made some adjustments.
If it gets much better, then watch out.
Right, but they do have a good ball club there. They've got Upton in left, Fowler in right, Ohtani's there, Pujols is still there, and Albert had a good spring. So I'm looking for Trout he's going to have some protection, and Mike Trout's going to put up some huge numbers, steal some bases, and play great defense, and be your American League MVP. That is a double agreement right here on Full Count from your host. Let's talk National League.
First one ever.
Well, yeah, probably won't happen often, because I guarantee we won't agree on this one either. Let's talk National League MVP, Kyle Drone. Who you like?
Man, I like a couple people. Mookie, obviously, one of the better players. I mean, probably the closest comparison to Trout.
Mookie Wilson?
If he would have played this. Mookie Betts.
Oh, okay.
Mookie
okay.
Betts out there in L.A. If he played center field, I think, he'd be the closest thing to it. And then Nolan Arenado, man, the new acquired by the Cardinals, my team. I'm going to go Arenado because I think he's excited to be in St. Louis. I think either way they stack that lineup with Goldie protecting him or vice versa, he's going to get to see some pitches, and I think he's going to have a big year. And we all know what he can do, at the corner.
We didn't even discuss this before we went on air because I wanted to kind of make it a surprise and see who you took and see who I took. And we went 1-for-1 in American League. I can't believe we're going to go 2-for-2 with National League because this was a hard decision for me because I'm a Cub fan. But Nolan Arenado no longer has to worry about trade talks. Nolan Arenado no longer has to worry about extension talks. He doesn't have to worry about anything besides going out and playing a solid Gold Glove third base like he has for many years, getting comfortable in St. Louis around great fans. It is a baseball city, and just play the game. And now he's got Goldie across the way, who's some protection for him. I really think Nolan Arenado could have put up 30, 35 homers and drive in 120, hit 280, and be your National League MVP. That's hard for me to swallow, but that's what I'm going to call.
Well, I commend you on that.
Well, thank you.
But yeah, I agree with you.
It's going to be a big. I think he has a big year, and it's just the beginning of things. But he hasn't had a great spring. But I think once you get into the thick of things, he's going to have a big year. Let's talk Cy Young Award winners, and let's talk American League first. And I think my Cy Young Award winner might shock you, Kyle Drone. I'm going to take a kid, and right. I call him, from an upstart team who many think will win the American League Central. I'm going to go with Lucas Giolito. I think Giolito has electric stuff.
Good pick.
Has the ability to be a 20-game winner if he stays healthy, and that's the one thing I worry about Giolito. He came over from the Nationals in a big trade, but Giolito is my pick for the American League Cy Young, and I think he leads the White Sox to the promised land.
Okay, good pick. He was in my top. But I'm going with Tyler Glasnow with the Rays. I think he's got the stuff. He's had the stuff for a while, and he keeps getting better. He just hasn't had that year to put it all together. And now that he's the top dog in that organization or at that staff, I think he's going to light it up this year. I mean, he's got the electric stuff. They've done some stuff around to help him defensively. So I'm going Glasnow.
Do you think the pressure on Glasnow being the ace of that staff I know we've talked before that the pressure sometimes builds character, but will the pressure get to him to lead that team back to possibly the World Series?
Well, obviously I don't think so because I'm picking him as the Cy Young Award.
I'm just asking.
So, no, I think no, absolutely. I think he's going to rise to the occasion, and he's going to put all this stuff together, and this is going to be his big year.
All right, let's go National League now, Cy Young, and there is a plethora. I like using big words like that. Plethora of talent in the National League that you could pick from. Guys who can come back, guys who could repeat. Trevor Bauer's still in the National League.
Yep.
He's your reigning Cy Young Award winner. But Kyle Drone, I don't think he can do it in Los Angeles again. Who is your National League Cy Young Award winner when all is said and done this season?
Yeah, I mean, Bauer's great. You got a lot of great pitchers out there, like you said, Scherzer, several others. But my guy, I've liked this guy for a long time, seems to just get better every year, and that's DeGrom, Jacob DeGrom. You know, once again, electric stuff. I mean, he's touching 100 miles an hour a lot in a game. There's a lot of new buzz in New York. You got new ownership. They've added some pieces. So I think he's my pick for sure.
He's the only guy that I've seen in a long time that can up velocity the last 4 seasons. I know he was hitting 102 in the spring. Man, the guy's arm just gets stronger and stronger every year. Great pick there. Great pick. My only thing I'm worried about with him in New York is even though they have added some pieces in Lindor, they still got Conforto there. I'm worried that the Mets just seem somehow to fall apart when it matters most. So let's hope they don't. But he could get Syndergaard back too, and so it could be a good year for the Mets. I'm going to stay in the National League East, Kyle, and I'm going to go with a guy who I just love how he competes. I love how he works every 5th day, and that's Max Scherzer. You just mentioned him a few minutes ago. Mad Max is my pick for National League Cy Young. You're going to have Strasburg back. You've got Corbin in that rotation. You've got Lester now, who came over in free agency. But Mad Max is going to lead the Nationals to what I think will be a National League East championship title. He just does everything right. Huge strikeout rate.
They definitely can do it. I mean, he's a workhorse. I love the way he grinds. I think that's a great pick.
My worry with him
in that Washington team, I mean, they're very good.
My worry is his health. He's not getting any younger either. But I think if he stays healthy, he'll be there at the end. But you could have picked a number of guys in the National League too. I mean, you're talking about Yu Darvish. We didn't even mention him. He came off a runner-up, and now he's in San Diego. You're talking about Clayton Kershaw.
Blake Snell's now in the National League.
Right. I mean, that list of guys in the National League, it's going to be – they're pretty deep. There's, as I said, a plethora of guys to choose from. Let's go Manager of the Year in the National League and American League. So let's start in the American League. And Kyle Drone, when all is said and done, who is the man that leads the ship in the American League?
I don't know, man. I've always been a big fan of Joe Madden. And I think this is the year he gets the Angels to the playoffs. And, managing a two-way player like Ohtani and some veteran guys that, he's going to have to really work to get there. But he's obviously got Trout. So that's who I'm going to go with. I think Madden does some things to change it up for him this year.
I love Joe. I love Joe in Chicago. I thought he was a great manager. He tried not to suck and didn't as they won the 2016 World Series. But I think Joe's a great fit in Anaheim. I do. I think you're right. But I'm going to go a different route. And I'm going to take Tony La Russa of the Chicago White Sox because I think this is the year the Sox finally get to the playoffs and make some noise. They have so much talent. Now, they've lost Eloy Jimenez for the next 4 to 6 months, which really hurts. Mm-hmm. But you still got the Luis Robert. You still got Tim Anderson. You've still got their young first baseman. Why can I think of his name? I just drew a blank. Anyway, he's there.
You got me thinking that.
I got Grandal. They've got too many. They've got too many offensive weapons, and they've got
Abreu.
Yes, Jose Abreu. Thank. Sometimes that happens to me. I get all excited. But, they've got pitching, too. You've got Giolito. Rodon is back. Lance Lynn is there now. Keuchel's still there. They've got pitching, and I think La Russa is the type of guy, even though he's older, he can put it all together for him in the American League.
Are you concerned any with how La Russa is going to be able to resonate with the younger players?
No.
He's always been known for old school tactics, and his career speaks for itself. But you don't, okay?
No, because I think what he did in Oakland back in the day, he had young guys there too, and was able to do it. And I think a lot of these times these guys stick together. Especially they've got a lot of Latin-born players on the White Sox. And those guys will be able to kind of work together as well and have a great year. I'm looking for big things from the South Side of Chicago.
Yeah, they're definitely an exciting team to watch. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's talk National League Manager of the Year now. Who you got in the National League?
Well, I think the Cards are going to surprise a lot of people this year.
I knew it was coming. The homer pick of homer
Shelton.
picks.
Yeah, well, got to start it off right. So, I'm thinking the Cardinals take the Central and they make a good push in the playoffs, and I think Shelty's going to lead that ship all the way there.
How many wins do you think the Cardinals get this year to win the division? How many wins does it take to win the National League Central, which isn't the strongest, by the way?
Yeah, I'm going to go 92.
I think that's about right. I was thinking, anywhere from that 88 to 92 range, and if he does take him all the way to the National League Central title, good for him. I just don't want to be a homer pick. I'm not picking David Ross.
I think he does.
But I'm gonna stick with my guns in the National League East, in a loaded National League East, and I'm gonna go with a former Cubs bench coach and a World Series winning manager.
Get the Cubs in there some way.
You know I did. Davey Martinez. I'm gonna go with Davey. I like the guy. Got to meet the guy a couple times. Great guy as well. But I like Davey Martinez. I think with Soto and now Bell from Pittsburgh, Schwarber, Trey Turner, he's got a lot of talent. They've got pitching. And so look for the Nationals to do big things this year as well in the East. I'm picking them to win the East. So and we'll get to that next week as we take our picks and division winners. So stay tuned next week and tune in. But that's who I'm taking. All right. So
and that's a great pick, man.
Thank you.
The Nationals got a lot of thunder in that lineup. So
they do. I didn't take a homer. Whatever. All right, let's talk World Series winner. After all is said and done, who's walking out as 2021 Major League Baseball World Series champions?
Oh, man. As much as I hate to do it, I can't get anywhere around the Dodgers repeating. They're just when you look at their lineup and their pitching staff top to bottom, I can't find one that can overpower them. So I got to go Dodgers.
I don't like to agree with you, and I'm not going to. I've given this a lot of thought, and I know great points. Top to bottom, Dodgers lineup tough. Rotation even better. When you look at Bauer, Buehler, Price, Kershaw, and Urias, that's tough. But I'm going to go with the White Sox. I think the White Sox surprise people, and both of us know how hard it is to repeat in Major League Baseball. It hasn't happened since the Yankees did it. I just think the Dodgers, it's just too hard to do it. And so I'm going to take the White Sox. The Southsiders are going to be your 2021 World Series champions. You heard it here. Right here on Full Count. Hey, let's take a quick break.
Do we have a Dodgers White Sox series?
Yes. Yeah, which I think would be a fun series, too, offensively, without a doubt.
Oh, for sure.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with On This Date in Baseball History and our Triple Play Trivia. You're listening to Full Count.
It's now time for Full Count Triple Play Trivia. Today's Triple Play Trivia question is, who are the only two players ever to hit 3 home runs on opening day? Stay tuned to Full Count to find out the answer later in the show. Today's episode of Full Count is brought to you by Morgan's Place.
Morgan's Place Canine Salon has been offering exclusive one-on-one grooming services in the Champaign area for over 12 years, using all-natural products, giving lots of love to your dog. Visit www.morgansplace.me to learn more. Morgan's Place, making dogs beautiful.
On this date in baseball history. On April 3rd, 1966, University of Southern California pitcher Tom Seaver signs with the Mets for a reported $50,000 bonus. Seaver, a selection of the Braves in the January free agent draft, signed with the Atlanta's Richmond Farm Club a month later after the start of the USC's baseball schedule. A ruling on the violation nets Richmond a $500 fine and forbids the Atlanta Braves from signing Seaver for 3 years. However, Seaver is also declared ineligible at the college level, and an unprecedented special draft is held. 3 clubs willing to match Richmond's $40,000 contract: the Indians, Phillies, and Mets. New York Mets' name is drawn from a hat as the winner, and as they say, the rest is history.
We're talking ballpark food here on Full Count. We thank you for joining us here this week on our debut episode. Keith Gibson, Kyle Drone with you. And Kyle, hey, you know me, and the fans and listeners of this show will get to know me. The fact that I like to eat, and especially when I'm at a ballpark, I like to eat. But let's talk about your favorite ballpark food, mine, because there's a lot to choose from, a lot of delicacies at ballparks now. You just don't get your normal food anymore. Some of these ballparks are getting high-tech and fancy with some of the things they serve, but when you go to a ballpark, and I'm guessing your favorite one's Busch.
No, for sure.
Surprise, surprise.
Well,
what is your favorite food to eat when you go to a ball game?
I don't think I've ever been to a game since I've been old enough to go myself where I didn't get the nacho. The ultimate nacho, hands down, every game. I get it before the game starts or early in the innings. And, I mean, it's a tradition almost for me.
What makes the nacho so special?
The jalapenos, the cheese, the meat, the salsa, the chips. I mean, just, I don't know, man. It's so good.
And with a $6 bottle of water, I assume, right?
Of course.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's the jalapenos. Yeah. You got to wash it down with water. I mean,
right. Yeah, that water from the tap.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. See, I don't go to Busch. I've been to Busch. I've had their nachos. They're okay. They're just okay. If you want nachos, you got to go to Wrigley. You get them in the helmet because you get the sausage, you get the beef, you get the cheese, the chili, the salsa, the whole mix in there. I mean, you are an absolute mess by the time you get in. And I do the same thing. I get it before the game starts. Usually I sit in the bleachers. I've got a stack, about a foot stack of napkins to go with it. And I never finish it. Usually I split it with either my old man or one of my buddies with me because you just can't. But then you go wash the helmet out and you got something to protect your head the rest of the day.
There you go. I
love the nachos.
We've just got the more sophisticated version.
Well, you're in St. Louis. I'm in Wrigley. St. Louis is boring. We remember that when Chris Bryant said that. I also love, there's nothing better than a ballpark hot dog either, or a brat.
For sure.
Yeah, get it wrapped up in that bun that's warm and everything. Yeah, it's just great. Ballpark food, there's nothing better. I love to eat. You love to eat. We want to know what your favorite ballpark food is. Go to our Twitter account, fullcount_show. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and on Facebook and Instagram, Dinger Bats as well. And but go to Twitter and let us know what your favorite ballpark food is. Is it the hot dog? Is it the brat? Is it a pretzel? Peanuts? Cracker Jacks? Let us know what your favorite is, and we'll pick a winner out and announce it next week, and that winner will get a Full Count hat and a Full Count koozie. We'll give that away next week on the show. So, for ballpark food, we're going to take a quick break, give you our triple play trivia answer, and then we'll come back and we're going to make a call of the pen and close up the show right here on Full Count.
Today's triple play trivia question was, who were the only 2 players to hit 3 home runs on opening day? The answer? George Bell did so on April 4th, 1988, when he hit 3 home runs off Kansas City Royals' Brett Saberhagen. The second player was Carl Tuffy Rhodes of the Chicago Cubs, who launched 3 homers off Dwight Gooden of the Mets on April 4th, 1994 in Wrigley Field. That's today's triple play trivia. Today's episode of Full Count is brought to you by Bosco's Biscuits and Booze. If you need the taste of Southern Illinois, then visit the all-new Bosco's Biscuits and Booze, home of the world champion daily special. 2 large, all-natural, juicy white meat chicken breasts, a side of the famous What the Hell biscuits, and a bucket of the cheapest beer in stock for only $6.99. Located at the corner of Old Milwaukee Boulevard, next to the Primo Hooer Hotel. Bosco's Biscuits and Booze. It's world champion food and cheap-ass booze.
Making the call, the pen. The manager's walking out to the mound. He wants the closer. That's right. We're wrapping up the debut episode of Full Count. Keith Gibson, Kyle Drone bringing it to you. We want to thank you for joining us on our debut episode. We hope you've enjoyed it. And, of course, we want to thank our special guest this week, Pittsburgh Pirates manager and SIU alum Derek Shelton. And, Kyle, he started off the season on the right foot. Thursday got a big win against the Cubbies. Then he comes on the show. Boy, I mean, he's just on fire right now.
Yeah, Shelty, he's a great baseball man, good friend, and definitely appreciate him taking the time. Glad to see him get that first win under their belt opening day, and looking for an exciting season from that team.
They're young, but I think they're going to make some noise in the Central. If not, they'll play some spoilers down the stretch once these guys get a few games underneath their belt. And
yeah, I think so.
We talked about Key Brian Hayes towards the end of the interview with him, and that guy started off the season with a 2-run homer on Thursday. So let's hopefully the Cubbies can bounce back and do something. But Cubbies didn't look real well on Thursday. But your Cardinals, they opened the season all right. I mean, I think they put up what? They put double-digit runs in the first game.
Yeah, you can say it. I mean, the offense was clicking. They look good. I think they got contributions from everybody up and down the lineup. So it was a good opener. I wish it was at home, but we'll catch him next Thursday.
That's right. Next Thursday, the Cardinals will open at home, and I think you'll be there, as you said. So that'll be exciting. Let's hope it's a little warmer than what it has been.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get tickets to opening day at Wrigley because it was 36 degrees, Kyle Drone. 36 degrees.
Yeah, it's tough weather to handle a loss in.
Next week on the show.
If you're a Bucks fan, it'd been a little easier.
Well, yeah, let's just rub that in a little bit deeper, why don't you? It's one game. It's one game. Hey, next week on the show, we've got Nick Carey joining us. Nick is doing an American ballpark road trip. He is going all across the country, visiting different ballparks, and making almost a documentary on YouTube that he is doing a series there. And you can, I'm sure he'll tell you where you can follow him next week. But pretty exciting to talk to him. I'm excited to hear what ballparks he's been to and where all he's going, Kyle.
Yeah, man, it's, every baseball fan's dream, I would think, to, do the tour, so to speak, of all the big league stadiums. But he's even taken it a step further and going to minor league stadiums, indie ball stadiums, historic stadiums that, are not used in pro ball anymore, but are still getting some use out of it. And he's documenting the history and all that. So it's very, very interesting, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Me too.
And I know you probably played at some historic stadiums down there. Evansville has Bossy Field.
Yep.
Have you got to play there?
Yeah, I've played there several times and seen a lot of games there as well. It's a great ballpark. It was even used in the League of Their Own movie. It was one of the main stadiums they used, along with one up in Huntingburg, Indiana, I believe. I've also played up there. It's a nice little stadium. So if you're down this way, try to catch a game. Frontier League, now they're affiliated with Major League Baseball. So I think the talent level is even going to step up a notch. So it'll be good baseball.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome stadium to visit. I've got to watch a couple games there myself, and I always enjoy going to Danville Stadium up in East Central Illinois. They have summer ball there with college kids, and it's fun to watch. And my favorite day to go, Kyle Drone, is Tuesdays. You want to know why?
Tell me why.
It's $2 Tuesdays. It's $2 hot dogs, $2 cold beer, and you can't get better than that on a combination like that for $2.
That's a good combo right there.
It is. It can make for long Wednesday mornings, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. But no, good baseball there, too, because you got college kids coming in from all over the country, and it's just fun to watch. And, you got the old wood bleachers all over, and it's just a fun time to do, and it's inexpensive. The whole family can go, and it's a great atmosphere there. But yeah, always fun to visit the old ballparks, and I'm excited to hear where Nick is headed and what kind of different stadium he's looking to visit. Well, Kyle, we had a great show, but we can't finish the show without hearing a little bit about Dinger Bats, because some people will know what Dinger Bats does and is, and some won't. So we want to make sure we educate you about what Dinger Bats is. So I'm going to let the owner of Dinger Bats, my co-host, good friend Kyle Drone, tell you kind of where they got started, where they're at, and what they do.
Yeah, several years back, my father was supportive enough to, join forces with me on this crazy idea of starting a bat company, and we've built it into a pretty solid business. We've got a factory right here in Ridgeway, Illinois.
Popcorn capital of the world.
Popcorn capital of the world. That's right. We've got the factory here. We've got 6 to 8 employees throughout the year. We manufacture wood baseball bats from T-ball to the big leagues. We've got about a dozen big league guys swinging us, and 40 to 50 affiliated minor league guys, and a number I don't even know of indie ball players, collegiate players, and things like that. So you can get on the website at dingerbats.com, and we've got a bat builder. You can fully customize your bat, get your name on it, get a team logo on it if you want. And, we also do corporate awards and senior awards and, just any type of award to give to a player or a friend or, a father, whatever.
That's right. That's right. In fact, you're building me one right now I just welcomed home a brand new baby boy, and you're doing a trophy bat for me so I can hang up in his room, and I'm pretty excited for that, and got to customize it as well. It's easy to customize on the website too, and Kyle, you guys have done a great job of building the brand and building a company that has good quality bats. And when guys like Jason Hayward of the Cubs love to swing a dinger, and guys like who are some other guys that swing a dinger in the big leagues right now? Adam Frazier of the Pirates is one, correct?
He has swung them. He's not, one of our main guys that swings them all the time. Starling Marte was with the Pirates. Now he's with the Marlins. We've had, Reese Hoskins swing him. Schwarber was swinging them.
That's my boy.
We've got a bunch of good guys.
Yeah. And, so if you're looking for a bat, of high quality wood, make sure you look into dingerbats.com. And also while you're there, you can download the podcast. You can pick up your full count gear. You can also download the show at Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon. You can tell Alexa, I want to listen to Full Count, and she'll play it for you. Pandora, we're all over the place. iTunes Music, Tune In. We're iHeartRadio. Kyle Drone, I've got us all over the place.
We're everywhere.
We are, and including 103.5 ESPN Radio, which we thank them for airing our show
Absolutely.
Each and every week at 7 a.m. So as we wrap things up, Kyle, I think we've had a great show. I look forward to moving forward. We've got some great guests lined up down in the future, including Cardinals first base coach Stubby Clapp will join us here in the upcoming weeks. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk a lot of baseball and hopefully see a great year in 2021 all over baseball. But one thing we'll do next week, we'll take our picks. We'll give you our division winners and playoff contenders in Major League Baseball. So for my co-host, Kyle Drone, owner of said Dinger Bats, I am the round mound of sound, Keith Gibson. We hope you've enjoyed the premiere edition of Full Count. Have a great week, everybody, and we will see you next Saturday morning right here at dingerbats.com and on 103.5 ESPN Radio.